Hey guys, Brianna here. So for the first 28 minutes of this episode, Darryl and I talk about a website called The Cube Rule. Now for audio listeners, we recommend opening up cuberule.com and following along as we go over the different graphs they include on the website. We feel it's the best way to truly experience this part of the episode. For our YouTube listeners, we will be posting the graphs on screen as we go over them. Once again, the website is called cuberule.com. Thank you guys so much and enjoy the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Daydream Arcade, and this week I am opening up with a topic that I feel like I shouldn't ever discuss, or at least I feel like I never would have discussed on this podcast, but I need to bring it up, and one time only, so that everybody in the back, that's right, that's you over there, come on up to the front, we have one seat saved right for you, right here.
What a guy.
I was hanging out in a stream, I believe it was T-Spade's stream, and I popped in right in time to hear a food debate and people once again claiming that hot dogs are sandwiches and also asking, does it also qualify as a taco? And I'm here to tell you all right now, I'm here to tell every single person right now listening to this podcast that if you think that a hot dog is a sandwich, qualifies as such, or God forbid you even will question if a hot dog is a taco, I have something to say to you. Fuck you. It is not a sandwich. It is not a taco. Here's my reasoning behind it. It's called a hot dog for a reason. It's not a hot dog sandwich. It's not a hot dog taco. It is called a hot dog. It is in its own classification as a food.
I personally have never met somebody that has claimed a hot dog is a sandwich or a taco. I don't know what kind of fucked up childhood you had to have to classify a hot dog as a sandwich or a taco, but it's neither of those things. It is a hot dog.
Now, see, when you were leading up to that, there was a little bit of a pause. I thought you were going to agree that a hot dog, it could be considered a sandwich, and I was ready to. My fists were halfway clenched.
No, I do not agree whatsoever. And I remember that conversation. I think it was. Oh, what was her name? I think it was like on Twitch. You like hosted her, or you rated her, and then she was like, "Oh, I have the one topic that we're talking about. Is hot dog considered a sandwich or a taco?"
I don't remember this, but I may have unhosted after I heard such blasphemy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if we want to bleep that name or whatnot. I don't want to dox people on the podcast.
Yeah, no.
But okay, so there's this website that I got whispered on Twitch. Thank you, Joshy, for sending me this. It is not a Pornhub link, but I was trying to think of a joke to relate hot dog sandwiches with Pornhub. I could have easily done it, but
wiener. That's it.
A wiener.
That's all you had to say.
Real.
Sorry, 12.
It's like no, because it's like one of those. No, because it's funny because it's like one of those things where when you first start getting interested in porn and stuff like that, chances are you start off by Googling just very vague things like naked woman, or wiener or something, you know, just some like really vague innocent term, and then until you know exactly what you're looking for.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I got this link from Joshy. This is a website. It's called cuberule.com. And I'm on it right now. The Cube Rule of Food Identification, as seen in the Webby Awards. I almost said the Weeby Awards.
The
Weeby Awards. The Washington Post and Maryland courts. First, we asked, are hot dogs sandwiches? Classic sandwiches, grilled cheese, Reuben, PB&J. Actually, no, I'm going to share my screen so you can see exactly what I'm seeing right now.
Okay.
So, classic sandwiches, grilled cheese, Reuben, PB&J, hot dog. Am I a sandwich? New York said, yep.
What?
I have lost all hope in my state.
That is your people.
That is all my people, and oh my god, so... Oh man.
My god.
No, this can't be real. This can't be real. Okay, so what we're looking at here is what looks like official New York State Department of Taxation and Finance, the Taxpayer Guidance Division. This has to be fake. This isn't real. Introduction. Sandwiches are generally subject to sales tax. This bulletin explains what is considered a sandwich for sales tax purposes, additional resources relating to sales of food, and hamburgers on buns, rolls, etc. Hot dogs and sausages on buns, rolls, etc. It is not a sandwich.
I mean, I guess maybe, okay, if, I'm not saying I agree, but if I had to get like some kind of like reason why it would be classified as a sandwich is because it is something in between two pieces of bread.
But a hot dog bun, or it's called a hot dog bun. You go to the store, you go down the bread aisle, you have your breads, you have your hamburger buns, and you have your hot dog buns. It doesn't say hot dog bread, it says hot dog buns.
But I mean, alternatively, would you consider a burger a sandwich?
No, I would still consider it a hamburger. I would still consider it a burger because I wouldn't say, hey, I would like a double bacon cheeseburger sandwich. I would say, hey, I want a double bacon cheeseburger.
I mean, yes.
I mean, I guess the concept, yeah, it's in between two pieces of bread, but like, it is not a sandwich.
Damn, New York just shit on your hypothesis.
This isn't real. There's no way this is real.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because they're talking about what is considered a sandwich for sales tax purposes.
For sales tax purposes, not the general outlier of what a sandwich is. For sales tax purposes.
A hot dog or a sausage on a bun is a sandwich.
I'm not ready to go down to that section right there, what I just saw. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you saw it, but it's a tweet claiming that Pop-Tarts are a kind of ravioli. I'm not ready to go there. One topic at a time. One topic to tackle at a time, young Brianna.
I'll lose my mind over this goddamn sandwich debate.
Guys, if you're listening to this podcast right now, I want you to tweet at us your opinion. Is a hot dog a sandwich? And give a detailed explanation as much as you can in the limited amount of characters that Twitter gives you to reply or tweet. Let us know what's on your mind, and we will share your responses next week if we get any responses. I also want to point out that Joshy did tell me that I might potentially hate him after reading this. Joshy, I don't hate you. I hate the state of New York.
I don't hate you. I just hate what you've done.
Yeah. I can't believe you've done this. And also, I mean, I guess it says Reuben sandwiches. Yeah, a Reuben is a sandwich.
And wraps and pita sandwiches.
Those are in tortillas.
Yeah. That should just be considered like their own thing, like a wrap. Or is it a burrito?
But are people gonna argue that a burrito is also a sandwich?
I don't think so, because it's all wrapped into one.
Same thing with a wrap. I mean, I can
shake it off.
I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't know how I feel about this. I know exactly how I feel about this. Hot dogs are not a sandwich. That's it. That's all I have to say. Hot dogs are not sandwiches.
Yep.
They're hot dogs. They're in their own category of food.
Yep.
Move on.
Anyway.
All right, anyway, moving on to the next. According to Ellen McGrody. Okay, listen. The sandwich discourse is played out. We need to have a new kind of discussion. Pop-Tarts are a kind of ravioli. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ravioli is pasta with cheese and filling inside of it.
Yeah, like cheese, meat, whatever inside of it. Not
It is not
fucking...
It is not a dessert. A Pop-Tart is a pastry, a really cheap pastry that we had as kids. I don't know why we were allowed to have such things.
I don't know, man.
But
they slapped.
Pop-Tarts commented on that tweet saying, excuse me, ravioli are a kind of Pop-Tart. Mind you, this has been going on since 2017. I'm looking at the date and time that this was posted. It was July 10th, 2017. I'm not even going to go into this. Okay, never mind. Okay, so next we have
that thought.
Okay.
I need a poop real fast. I will be right back.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, while Brianna goes to the bathroom, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for listening to the podcast. We're 5 episodes in, and you guys have just absolutely been incredibly kind and have been letting us know what you guys think of the podcast and where we should fix things and whatnot. I wanted to comment that during the last episode, there was an outtake that I blatantly kept into the episode, and it may have disrupted the flow of the conversation that we were having, setting up the trivia segment, which we're not doing this week, but it will return next week because I've been dealing with some health problems and I've just been focused on that. And it's been a little stressful the last week or so, but everything's going all right. I think everything will be okay. But I just want to let you guys know that this week we're not going to be having the trivia segment, and any kind of outtakes that we have are now going to be placed at the end of each episode. So when the music kind of fades out, we'll just end up putting the bloopers in there so that you guys can hear a couple outtakes if we have a segment that just goes completely wrong, or if we just mess up or just have something funny happen that we don't keep into the podcast. We'll just put those at the end of each episode. I don't think every episode's going to have them, but when we do have something good for you guys, we'll just put it right in the episode at the end. Thank you guys so much for continuing to listen to the podcast, and we really appreciate all the support you guys have given us thus far. Also, my Twitch live streams are going to be back this week starting on Monday, the 7th of December. Got the tree up and everything, got a whole new camera angle set up for streams this month, and I'm really excited. And we're going to be back starting Monday of this week, but you guys are going to hear this on Friday. So to avoid any confusion, you can catch me streaming on Twitch normally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And sometimes you can catch me streaming on the weekends, but that's twitch.tv/YoungRetro64. Playing a lot of Stardew Valley a lot lately. I started picking that back up and got married and currently working on having kids and just kind of grinding away at the game because I kind of just set up my playthrough to marry Abigail. She's my favorite girl in Stardew.
I'm still trying to get Leah to fall in love with me.
How many hearts along are you on?
I'm like 4 hearts with Leah.
Oh, okay. So 4 hearts. I think it's like 8 hearts, and then you can marry them, or I think it's 8 hearts. Okay. Leah's pretty neat when I don't confuse her with somebody else.
Oh, like Jody or some shit.
Yeah. One time, my chat wouldn't let me live it down for about 2 weeks when I went into the bar and I wanted to give. I think I called her Pam. Maybe, or I called her I called Leah by the wrong name, and I was like, hey, here, I got this beer for you because Abigail was on her way out of the saloon, so I wasn't able to catch her in time to give her the beer, so I gave it to somebody else, and I was like, here you go, and then it was Leah, and I was like, no, I called her by the wrong name. This is why I have no luck with women, because I can't remember names.
That's a problem.
Yeah, but yeah, my chat would not let me live that down. Did you hear me struggling that entire time? Did you have your headset on when you were in the bathroom? Okay. As I said, thank you for listening each week. We really appreciate it. Currently have 100 downloads on the podcast. You know, little victories here and there.
It's over 100.
It's over 100.
Yeah.
Still, little victories are what keep us going.
Fuck yeah.
It's pretty awesome. So thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And we're going to try and start doing Twitch streams possibly soon. We have a Daydream Arcade Twitch, and we also have our own individual Twitches. But you guys can go to the Daydream Arcade on Twitch and follow us there. I can't exactly say when we're going to start doing streams, but we're definitely planning things.
Yes.
All right. So back to this whole entire cuberule.com thing. The sandwich alignment chart. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I don't like this.
I don't like this either. Okay. All right. I'm going to try and describe that. I might grab a screenshot of this and put it somewhere. Let's see. The sandwich alignment chart. How do I describe this when I'm trying to think of how to put this into words for just audio listeners? Because I feel like they need the visual here. Tell you what, guys, if you guys are watching this on the video format on YouTube, I'm going to put up the sandwich alignment chart here. So as you guys can see, we have on the side column, the vertical column, structure purist, structure neutral, and structure rebel.
It's basically like a pie chart, yeah?
No.
Wait.
A pie chart is like the
circle.
Percentages.
I'm sorry. I haven't been to school in ages.
No, it's okay. Clearly. There's okay, so vertical column, structure purist, a sandwich must have a classic sandwich shape. 2 pieces of bread / baked product with toppings in between. Structure neutral, the container must be on either side of the toppings, but not necessarily 2 separate pieces. So like a sub, a hot dog, and an ice cream taco.
What?
I don't know why they just didn't go for a taco, but I guess that still counts.
An ice cream taco isn't what are those shits called? It's like an Italian dessert.
Cannolis?
Yes, that's literally a cannoli.
Yeah, it looks like a cannoli.
Yeah.
But we're gonna anger the Italians here. Structure rebel can contain any food enveloped in any way by containing food. So like a wrap, a burrito, or a Pop-Tart. So I don't
agree.
The horizontal column, ingredient purist, must have classic sandwich toppings. Are any of you lost right now? Because I'm lost.
I'm completely lost, and I'm looking at it.
Yeah, if you're lost, tweet at us. Let us know how lost you are on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the most lost.
20.
You can't go off scale. Meat. The ingredient purist must have classic sandwich toppings, meat, cheese, lettuce, condiments, etc. Ingredient neutral can contain a broader scope of savory ingredients, and ingredient rebel can contain literally any food product sandwiched together. Okay, so for structure purist and ingredient purist, we have the hardline traditionalists. For example, a BLT is a sandwich. I agree.
Yeah.
Ingredient neutral and structure purist.
What the fuck is a chip, buddy?
It looks like just French fries sandwiched in between 3 they like Big Mac it. It looks like.
Is that ketchup?
I think that's ketchup. I think that's ketchup and French fries on a sandwich. I think that's what a chip buddy is. I wouldn't knock it. I might try a chip buddy someday. Then a structural purist ingredient rebel is like an ice cream between waffles. Ice cream between waffles is a sandwich. Never tried that.
It's an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, it's an ice cream sandwich.
That makes sense.
So all of those have the classic sandwich shapes between 2 pieces of bread with toppings of any kind in between. Structure neutral. The container must be on either side of the toppings, but not necessarily 2 separate pieces. So like if you have a sub roll, right? That's the structure neutral, but it's ingredient purist because it has the meat, cheese, lettuce, and condiments and whatnot. And then the true neutral is our lovely hot dog, which, whoopsie. The ingredient neutral can contain a broader scope of savory ingredients, and it's like I said, it's not necessarily 2 separate pieces, so supposedly I guess a hot dog is a sandwich.
To be fair, that hot dog looks like the blandest motherfucking hot dog I've ever seen.
It looks like your stereotypical hot dog.
Yeah, it looks just not fun. Have you had those potato hot dog buns?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god,
I love
those are
potato.
So good.
I love potato buns, potato bread.
Dude, potato bread fucking slopes.
I remember as a kid, I used to want that kind of bread on my for my sandwiches. I'd be
Yeah.
like, the yellow bread. I used to call it the yellow bread because it looks yellow. It looks like it's yellow.
Yeah, it does.
Or it is yellow. It has a yellow consistency to it.
Yeah.
And then the ingredient rebel is an ice cream taco.
So a cannoli.
No.
That's basically like what?
I mean, I guess, but the cream filling on the inside of a cannoli is an ice cream.
I mean, yeah, but it's still cream.
I guess. This whole entire chart is bullshit.
Oh, God, I hate this website.
Oh, God. Then spake the holy prophet at Phosphatide. Phosphatide says, are you unsatisfied with current debates regarding what is or is not a sandwich? You should try using the cube rule for identifying what you're eating. I don't get it.
Too bad it's not fucking, what is the word?
I don't
reliable.
fuck with this. I thought you were going to say real. It's not real. This website doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Fuck this website.
I don't understand. The cube rule of food for identifying dishes based on starch locations. First cube is toast, sandwich, taco, sushi, soup/salad with bread bowl, calzone. Please don't tell me. Okay, gonna keep on reading here. Identify any food purely by the location of structural starch. 1. Toast. Popular examples. Pizza.
Pizza's toast? No.
Is this nigiri sushi? Is that how you pronounce it? Nigiri?
I think nigiri.
Nigiri sushi. How does that constitute
That's
as
not toast?
And pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie in the toast.
I'm gonna lose it the more we go through this goddamn website.
Okay, so on the sidebar, do you see how small that bar, that scrolling bar is?
Fucking
we got
shit.
a long way to go. Well, what number? We're almost half an hour into recording this podcast, minus like 5 minutes because you had to go poop.
I did.
Sandwich. Okay, so the sandwich, the cube. I'm seeing there's the top and the bottom of this cube that's been drawn here. I used to be fascinated with drawing 3D cubes.
Me too. I loved drawing them.
Sandwich, popular examples.
Ew.
Quesadilla, non-folded. That looks like it's folded to me. But anyway, toast, made and photographed by me, Ryan. It was okay.
That looks awful.
Victoria sponge cake. I was trying to figure out what that is sandwiched between there. If that's like really old sausage or just
I don't know, but it looks
it's
so
another
gross.
piece of bread. It's just another piece of toast. It's 3 pieces of toast stacked on one another.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we have Victoria sponge cake. Why are these popular examples for sandwiches?
They're not.
This is a troll website. This isn't
real.
This isn't real. This is not happening. A taco. So this is okay. So the cube is used to, from my understanding, the cube here is used to identify where
the bread is.
Yeah. Okay.
Quote,
so
unquote.
taco. Popular examples. I love how there's not a taco in here for the example. The examples are hot dog, sub sandwich,
Literally.
uncut, and a slice of pie. Taco on its side. What the fuck are you talking about?
This makes no fucking sense. Whoever made this goddamn website, you have negative brain cells.
You must be put to death. I'm sorry if
By
that sounds
lethal
harsh,
injection.
but I will lethal injection while simultaneously being
Shot in the face.
shot in the face, electric chair, firing squad, Chinese water torture, all of the above. Whoever came up with this idea and whoever agrees with it needs to burn in hell for all of eternity. I don't necessarily believe in a hell, but you know what? I used to be Catholic, so take that with what you will. Yeah. So next is sushi. Popular exampos. Falafel
What
wrap.
the fuck?
Pigs in a blanket. An enchilada. This is not sushi.
No.
This is meant to anger so many people. I don't understand. This is so fucking dumb. And then 5, we have quiche. Popular example.
Are you fucking
cheesecake,
kidding me?
soup in a bread bowl, and a falafel pita.
No.
Under no circumstances should this website exist.
Soup. Soup in a bread bowl is a quiche?
I'd much rather join the Church of Scientology than have to finish it. Quiche, bonus round.
Fuck you.
Deep dish
Fuck
pizza.
you, cube rule.
You know what? Deep dish pizza, I guess I would count that as a quiche.
I mean, I guess. That one's like the most okay.
Yeah. And then salad in a bread bowl. I've never seen salad in a bread bowl.
What the fuck? Okay, who would eat that?
Also,
that's just defeating the purpose of having a salad.
That does not look like a bread bowl.
No.
That looks like they took the deep dish pizza, like the crust, cut out all the stuff in between, and just put the salad in the same image. Just sat it perfectly, like right in there. And then we have key lime pie as a quiche. I mean, that's a pie. A quiche, I guess, can count as a pie because you put it in pie crust. But still, no. We're getting there.
Now a fucking calzone.
Now we are on calzone. I'm kind of scared to go down. If calzone is not listed as an example, I'm going to be upset.
God, a corn dog?
A corn dog is a popular example of a calzone because I guess the whole entire thing is just wrapped around. A burrito is a calzone. A pie is a calzone. Oh, there's a bonus round of calzones.
Oh, look!
We got dumplings.
A Pop-Tart!
A Pop-Tart! And an Uncrustable.
Isn't that a motherfucking ravioli? I have a fucking heart attack.
Cake. Okay, so now the cube is put into layers. Cake, popular example, lasagna. Big Mac. Flapjacks. You know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with this.
I can't.
I'm done with this.
I can't.
And now we are okay, so now we are uncubed.
Hold
We are
on,
uncubed.
Hold on. Go.
I'm gonna let you take this one.
Oh my fucking God. How? Okay, so these are popular examples of quote unquote salads. A steak, mashed potatoes, and spaghetti. That makes no fucking sense. How the fuck is a steak a salad?
Because there's no box around. There's no more walls of the cube, Brianna. There's no more walls.
Salads mean things mixed together.
But without the walls that constitutes as a salad, I can't argue with the cube rule. Can't argue with it. Can't argue with logic. You know, it's on the internet.
I'm getting angry. This is the ANGY episode.
This is the ANGY episode. We're gonna call it.
Are you kidding me? Now soup is a salad?
A wet salad.
I thought it was a motherfucking, what the fuck was it? Sushi or some shit.
Sushi was considered toast or some sort of unless we're talking about the category.
Yeah, no, it was a quiche. It was a quiche. Go down.
Down? Okay, hang on.
There you go.
Oh, soup is a quiche. Cheesecake
I hate this.
is a quiche. And a falafel pita is a quiche. I've never had falafel, but I've heard it tastes good. Just no cube rulings. So say we have cake, lasagna, Big Mac, flapjack, salad, and then we have the steak, mashed potatoes, spaghetti, and salad bonus round, poutine, chocolate, and soup. This was made to anger people. This is not real. Muffins. Rice. You're free to interpret the nature of rice however you wish. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that there were different natures of rice. Vanilla soy latte. A 3-bean wet salad. Soup. It says soup, but soup has been crossed out. Thank you. References. This is not fucking real. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry that we had to go through that, guys. I'm probably going to cut that down a little bit, but man, I just don't understand. I don't understand. This is literally the first topic of the podcast this week, and we're almost 40 minutes in. Since I'm on Twitter, I might as well let's go answer some Twitter questions.
Hey.
So, guys, I posted on Twitter about how tech decks, which if you guys don't know what tech decks are, they're little mini skateboards that you can use with your 2 fingers and you can do tricks with them and stuff like that. I haven't used tech decks in a long time, but when I was in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, tech decks were one of the hottest toys that were being used in my schools. At lunchtime, you could see so many kids using tech decks, and it got to the point where people were using them so much in class that they ended up getting banned, and the teachers just wouldn't allow tech decks. So what we ended up doing to kind of curb that was we would take because the wheels in the trucks make a lot of noise when you're using them. What we would do is we would unscrew the trucks and take them off, so you just had a flat board, kind of like a snowboard, and you could still do tricks with them. You just had to be very versatile with your fingers. And those eventually got banned too, and it got to the point where a lot of us started using pens as tech decks. And some certain pens got banned too. Or some teachers tried to take pens away from students, but it eventually didn't work. So I asked you guys, what were some trendy toys and things that got banned when you were kids? First off, Brianna, were there any toys like tech decks or anything that got banned in your school when you were a kid?
It wasn't. I don't know if this counts as like
they didn't necessarily
a toy.
Okay.
But do you remember those like? Oh my God, what are they called? They were like the chocolate like circle, like the Wonder some shit.
The Kinder eggs?
Yes, the Kinder eggs.
Yeah.
Those were banned.
Why?
Because of the little toys in the middle of it. It was like choking hazards for kids.
Wow.
So they banned those.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. But were those like really popular at the time?
When I was younger, they were really popular. I remember getting them a lot. Like my family would get me them. And I would be obsessed with them because I loved chocolate, and then like the little toys in the middle. I was like, hey, it's a prize.
Such an interesting concept. Were the toys wrapped up inside with like plastic, or were they just like free?
I don't think they were. I think they were free, which like it kind of makes sense why they were banned.
Yeah,
because it was a choking hazard.
I remember,
because like if you're just biting into the fucking Kinder egg, then
I remember there were. I don't know if these were exactly Kinder eggs or if there was something else. But I remember these chocolate eggs that had candy inside. But they were kind of like sweet, the sweet tarts. They were kind of like bitter, but also sweet.
it was a Wonder Ball.
A Wonder Ball. Okay, yeah,
what it was called.
I remember Wonder
not
Balls.
The Kinder eggs.
Okay.
It was a Wonder Ball.
I remember. I remember those as well. That's such an interesting concept. To put toys inside of a chocolate egg.
It's weird.
Like I don't necessarily understand that, but that's okay. So let's read off some of these replies. So first, Ian YS said Beyblades, those metal tops that would duel one another. I can imagine because I remember those things used to go hard. Those things, if you like put your finger in between two of them, like, dude, I don't know who would do that, but you would hurt your fucking finger. And I
loved Beyblades. Those were so fun.
They used to be some of them used to be really heavy.
Yeah.
I had one friend who, this was in maybe second grade. I remember during recess, we had recess in class, and a couple people brought their Beyblades. I never really got into Beyblades, but I used to like to watch them go because they could spin forever. And this one kid brought in this like limited edition Beyblade that was solid like metal. And it was so heavy. I remember it to this day how heavy it was. And I remember he got mad at a kid or something, and he threw the Beyblade at this kid's face. And the kid ended up like bleeding all over the fucking floor. And from that point on, I think Beyblades were no longer allowed to be used in our class during recess.
Damn.
That was the last time I ever saw a kid use Beyblades. So as far as I know, Beyblades were outlawed from the entire world at that point.
All right, so the next one we have is from Kat with a K. Yu-Gi-Oh, because it promotes gambling in school. Damn, I remember being in elementary school, and I had like this booklet of so many different Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I would bring it to school. And during recess, we would all like gather in like the little like little like play area, like where like the jungle gym is and shit. And we would sit at the top and we would just sit there and play the entire time, just Yu-Gi-Oh.
Nice.
And it was so much fun.
I don't know why it would promote gambling in school. I don't understand that.
I don't know.
Unless
you like sold your cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But according to Kat, I even asked if they sold the cards for money or whatnot, because we do have another reply from this tweet saying that they did sell them in school, but apparently Kat never sold them in school. They were never being sold, unless if they were being traded, that it was off campus. But
okay.
I mean, a lot of I'm sure some teachers would look at some of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards and be like, "What is this satanic bullshit?"
Yeah, especially like blue-eyed white dragon. Like they'll be like, "Hey!"
Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a long time, but I remember that was Yu-Gi-Oh was the shit when we were younger. Yu-Gi-Oh,
dude.
It was like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, pro wrestling, and Power Rangers were like the top things when I was young. But yeah, that's so weird. I don't know what goes through teachers' minds sometimes.
Do you remember the Bionic? Like
the Bionicles?
Bionicles.
Yeah.
Dude.
I do remember Bionicles. But I don't. Was that a show? The Bionicles were from a show, right? They weren't just
it was
a
a
toy.
show.
Okay, I never watched that.
I watched it sometimes because my older brother really liked it, and so I would watch it with him. But I wasn't too into it. He had like a whole bunch of like little action figures, and I would like steal them and play with them with like my Barbies and shit.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's so funny. Yeah.
That's so funny because I used to have Power Rangers. I used to collect a lot of Power Ranger toys, and I haven't talked about this on the podcast, but I have said it during live streams. I used to have a lot of different action figures. I used to have superheroes. I used to like Marvel and DC, and I also had wrestlers. I had just some like a bunch of random different action figures, and I also had Power Rangers, and I would use my sister's Barbie sets and vehicles and stuff as Power Ranger stuff, and I had a little notebook, and I would make my own shows, and I would set everything up.
Yeah.
And
I remember you said you would like write down like the pay-per-views and like each scheduled show, like
for when I was really into wrestling and had a lot of different wrestlers, and I had a notebook like you said, and I had Raw, SmackDown, and all of the pay-per-view events over the year, and I would write down storylines, and I would get VHS tapes because they didn't sell like barricade stuff to go like around the ring, and I figured the closest thing to a barricade was VHS tape, so I would set up VHS tapes as a ramp and like a stage, and I would have the wrestlers go down it, and there would be a barricade of VHS tapes, which always fell over, by the way, and my parents would always be super pissed when they would come downstairs in the basement and see that I didn't put my wrestlers away, and because there were just VHS tapes just lying around. And I'm pretty sure that at that point in that house, that was the only time VHS tapes were being used, was when I had my little wrestling shows. And it's crazy. I was such a fucking nerd. I had a lot of different I had a binder full of different ring aprons that I used. I measured the rings that I had, and I would print out logos off of the internet, and I would tape them to the sides of the rings, so in case I just had one ring at the time, I could use it for Raw, SmackDown, ECW, and just a bunch of other pay-per-views and stuff. And then I ended up getting other things like the Elimination Chamber, the Steel Cage and stuff, and I just had such good times doing things like that, and it brings a smile to my face now, where I know it's really nerdy and kind of dumb, but like I really enjoyed doing that as a kid.
Fuck yeah, that's fucking awesome that you had like that imagination. We're like so passionate about something.
I also didn't.
You were like, hell yeah,
we'll
make this.
I also didn't have any friends really, so
I mean, I totally get that.
Here's another one from T Spades, Tamagotchis. I never had a Tamagotchi, but my sisters were really into Tamagotchis.
Ooh, I loved Tamagotchi. I think I had like 2. I was obsessed, bro.
I can imagine a little kid getting their Tamagotchi taken away by their teacher, and they're just like, "You better feed it." Just being dragged out of the cat.
My parents would take it away, and I was like, "No, I gotta feed it."
Did you get it back and it was dead?
Sometimes.
They give it back to you, and you're just like, "Murderer! I will see your ass in court."
And the next one we have is from CF Live. Not to get too old on everyone, but I was a kid when marbles got banned, and then Pogs. Pogs was a heartbreaker. I have no idea what the fuck Pogs is. What are Pogs? Milk Caps. Milk Caps is a game that was popular among children during the early mid-1990s. Brand name Pog is owned by the World Pog Federation. The name Pog originates from POG, a brand of juice made from passion fruit, orange, and guava. The use of Pog bottle caps to play the game preceded the game's commercialization. How do you even play it? Like, what?
The rules vary among players, but the game variants generally have common gameplay features. Each player has their own collection of milk caps and one or more slammers. Before the game, players decide whether or not to play for keeps. So like basically the players would get to keep milk caps that they win during the game and must forfeit those that have been won by other players. The game can then begin as follows. 1. The players each contribute an equal number of milk caps to build a stack with the pieces face down, which will be used during the game. The players then take turns throwing their slammer down onto the top of the stack, causing it to spring up and the milk caps to scatter. Each player keeps any milk caps that land face down after they have thrown. After each throw, the milk caps which have landed face down are then restacked for the next player. When no milk caps remain in the stack, the player with the most pogs is the winner. Interesting.
Interesting. So that was banned. That sucks. I wonder why it was banned.
I'm looking for...
Was it too, like, disruptive or some shit?
Why was it banned for CF?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I loved playing marble games as a kid. Still do.
Oh my god. Did you play Moncala?
Yes.
Dude, I loved that game.
Yes. I haven't played Moncala in a long time, though.
Me too. I mean, to be fair, it's on, like, the iPhone games. Like, where you, like, send a game through text.
Yeah.
Or, like, through iMessage. And, like, that's on there.
Sadly, I'm an Android user. I don't have an iPhone.
Yeah.
I mean, not sadly. Android is the superior race.
Not it.
Excuse me. Listen.
With your 240p camera.
Listen. Here's my deal with Android. I like using it because I have such an old Samsung, but it gets all of the shit that I need done. Granted, the
That's
battery
valid.
is very shit at this point, but that's because I've had this phone forever. It is the Samsung Galaxy 6.
Oh, my dad had that.
Yeah, back in the Stone Age, right?
Yeah.
But it still gets everything that I need to get done, like Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all that shit that I need. It, like email and whatnot, texting, calling, it's all on here. And yeah. I really don't need a really expensive $1,000 iPhone or any phone for that matter. So until this thing stops breathing, I'm gonna have this phone. I'm almost like 99% sure that Apple designs all of their phones to like turn to shit after a certain update.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They
so
just
you
keep pumping it.
Get the next one.
Yep.
There was like a lawsuit about that, how they like purposely slowed up like the batteries.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I fucking hate capitalism so much.
Fuck capitalism.
COVID-19 could cause erectile dysfunction. according to the New York Post.
Oh, also, side note, Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather
have erectile dysfunction?
No, they will be fighting in February.
What?
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather announces he will fight Logan Paul in an exhibition match on February 20th. Dude, Logan Paul is going to get his fucking ass kicked.
Dude, I hope so. My God, I hope so. But also, Floyd Mayweather is a bit of a hugger when he fights.
Yeah.
So he just grabs and he clinches and he holds on for dear life.
Oh my God, this one comment. This one comment. What the fuck?
What is it? Shit.
Brother Floyd knows what must be done.
Oh my God. Dude.
What was that thing about Logan Paul? He was like getting gaslighted on an interview. People were being like real dicks to him, and he like stood up for himself. Yeah,
because he was talking about Harry Styles and like that dress, like that photo shoot that he did.
Right.
And one of his co-hosts was like, "Oh, that's not manly." Like, oh, blah, blah. And then Logan Paul, which is the only thing that I have ever agreed with him, he was like, "Dude, what do you mean it's not manly? He's just wearing a dress. Like, so many men have worn dresses before in their lives. Like, is this the first time you've seen this?" I mean, they were just going back and forth about that.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole entire thing, but that's crazy. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah. But
I can't believe this is happening. Special exhibition Mayweather versus Logan Paul, February 20th.
I'm excited. We gotta watch that.
This will be interesting. Yeah, we will watch it. I'm totally down.
I watched the Mike Tyson fight the other day.
The Mike Tyson fight already happened?
Yeah.
Oh shit, who won?
It was a draw.
It was a draw.
It was so fucking stupid because honestly, Tyson 100% won that. Because the other dude, I think it was Jones something, he just kept grabbing onto him and just holding him. And like Tyson was the only one basically like throwing punches and actually fighting.
Like, I mean, obviously, like Mike Tyson's like up there in age. Like he's 54. And you know, I didn't see the fight. Did he fight well?
He did. He fought very well. He like the way like his reflexes are, like he was dodging punches left and right.
Yeah, apparently it says that people are pissed that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.'s fight ended in a draw.
Yeah, it was very stupid.
Anyway, we went from a bunch of different shit to
should we just stop there with the fucking Twitter?
Nah, we got one more. All
right,
we'll do one more. Silly bands. I remember silly bands. I was never really into them.
Damn. I loved silly bands.
I've definitely worn one at some point, but those were really hot. Like I remember a lot of kids just like had them like all the way up their arms or halfway up their arms and shit. It's crazy.
And then they got fucking
they like disappeared off the face of the planet.
Meaning. Yeah.
Wait,
but then like yeah, it was like based on the color that you had. It was like a different sex act.
What?
Yeah.
Inform me on this. I'm not aware.
So when I was in school and like everybody had like the silly bands and shit and they were all different colors, each different color like meant a different sex act that you did, and then you would wear it so people would know like what you've done.
This is weird. I need to look this up.
It's really weird. It was really weird.
Silly band secret meetings, sex bracelets.
Yes.
Well, these are jelly bracelets that I'm looking at right here. Here's a common breakdown.
I know black meant something really wild.
It says intercourse.
Oh.
I may not be looking at the silly bands. Unpicking the urban legend of shag bands.
I think it started off with like those jelly bands, and then it like when silly bands started getting really wild or like really popular, they moved on to those, and like each different color, it just like transferred onto silly bands.
Yeah. It was the year 2004. Life was about RuneScape, Anglo Bubbly, LimeWire, scented gel pens, maintaining your MySpace top 8 alongside your side gig, trying to breed alien babies. This is an article off of Vice.
Incredible.
People started wearing those Livestrong wristbands and all the charity spin-offs. They also began to wear shag bands bought from news agents and Claire's accessories, except they weren't called shag bands, but gel bracelets. Okay, so shag band. A shag band is a bracelet made of rubbery plastic, usually worn by grungers and punks. If you snap someone's, you need to do whatever that color or chords to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you broke it off of someone, you have to do that.
Okay, so here are the different colors and what they mean. Black just means straight up sex. Blue, blowjob. Pink, flash. Yellow, big hug. Purple, kiss. Clear, whatever the snapper chooses. Green, fingering. Glow in the dark, sex toys. Glitter, girl chooses. Indigo, hand job with blowjob. And orange is petting. This is very, very interesting.
Just imagine a whole bunch of like elementary school and middle schoolers running around look, I did this, and you're like, bitch, you are 12.
I can't think about that. That's
I feel like
messed up.
A lot of it was just to seem like they were cool. But then some people were serious, and I was like, girl, what happened?
In a 2005 study, nearly 2/3, 60% of 15 to 19-year-olds said the wristband signaled their owner's sexual preference and availability. At the time, people would rampage around the playground snapping wristbands or cutting them as a joke. Questions were raised. If you broke your own wristband, did that mean you had to have sex with yourself? What if you didn't have sex with a person? What punishment would you receive? Entrepreneurs began to sell them in playgrounds, picking up a fine profit on rare colors and glittery numbers, the ones that were generally more difficult to acquire at your local news agent. This is so fucking strange. I personally don't remember these being a thing in my school.
Really?
No.
Yeah, it was very popular here.
That's weird. Anyways, that's going to do it for Twitter questions this week. Sorry if we didn't get to your guys' replies. Keep on sending us messages with replies to Twitter questions, weekly Twitter questions. We'll have one up sometime later this week. And once again, if you guys have any questions about anything, if you guys have any advice that you need answered or just want to bring up an interesting topic on the podcast, you guys can message us on Twitter, you guys can add us on Twitter, or you guys can email us at thedaydreamarcade@gmail.com.
So Darryl,
yes,
last week we did a new little segment called How Many Brain Cells Do You Have?
Oh, we did indeed. And we found out who has the least amount.
It's your girl. So to my understanding, we decided on punishments for the losers. Mm-hmm. And I've heard you have a little punishment for me.
I do. It's not little.
Oh, buddy.
It is not little. Okay, so do you want the good news or bad news? I mean, I feel like there's no good news, but
I feel like it's just all bad news.
Okay, I was just going to start to tease you on it, but I'm just going to give it straightforward. All right, so my punishment for you is, and I'm 100% legit serious about this.
Okay.
You must make a Farmers Only account. And you must talk to at least one person. And it must be like a very genuine thing, and then you must ghost their ass when you feel the need to dip.
Oh my god.
So in case you guys are unaware of what farmersonly.com is, it is a dating website for, you guessed it, farmers. And
oh my god, I have to find my own Cletus.
I'm gonna die if the person that you actually end up matching with and talking to is Cletus.
Dude, I would love that.
So I don't know if you want to do this now and make it while we talk. But I think so. This punishment is going to probably go on for at least maybe until the next episode, because I want to see how this plays out if you actually end up getting any matches on farmersonly.com. I don't know if farmers, you definitely have to let me know what the landscape of that dating app is, because the only dating apps that I've ever used are Tinder, obviously, and Hinge, I think, is another dating app that
I've used Tinder, Hinge, and Meet Me.
Oh, I've used Meet Me before. Meet Me,
Yeah,
I stopped using because there were a lot of sketchy types on Meet Me.
Yeah, I made one friend off of Meet Me, and that's it.
It was me.
Yes.
No. You know how Hinge, their tagline is the dating app meant to be deleted? Or the dating app designed to be deleted? Yeah, I deleted it because I wasn't getting any matches, so it worked.
I love that Farmers Only, their slogan is city folks just don't get it.
They really don't. They really don't. And,
They don't know how to get their cattle.
I was thinking about making one with you so we could do the punishment together, but to be quite honest, I don't think that I don't know. I don't think I necessarily need to, because this is after all your punishment.
It is.
What photos are you gonna use?
Dude, I don't know if I should just catfish someone.
I think you have to use your own pictures for authenticity.
Damn, then I'm gonna be fucking known on Farmers Only.
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. As soon as you do the thing, you can delete your account and you never have to do this again.
This is true.
I wonder what the age demographic is mainly on farmersonly.com.
Over 18.
Over 18. Well, I mean,
well, to be honest, I feel like it's going to be a lot of 40-year-old men.
That's what I'm wondering, if it's going to be that.
But they are so inclusive because they can do a woman looking for a woman.
That's awesome.
And a man looking for a man.
That's good.
So we go. Hell yeah. You go Farmers Only.
That's good. So I'm assuming you're going to do I'm a woman looking for a woman.
Because it doesn't matter, so I guess I'll just do woman looking for a man.
Okay. You got to look for
Enter
your cletus.
my age, 39.
39?
I'm just kidding.
You could probably do 30.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Are you guys getting a kick out of listening to us to set up Brianna's farmersonly.com?
Oh my God. I'm surprised you didn't do Christian Mingle.
I was thinking about Christian Mingle. I was honestly thinking about Christian Mingle.
I'm fine with Farmers Only.
I was trying to think, because like Christian Mingle would be kind of. I was thinking. Okay, so it came down to three different sites. I wasn't gonna do Tinder because that's too fucking generic, and but it was either farmersonly.com, Christian Mingle, or OkCupid.
Oh my God. But yeah, I'll make this profile and keep y'all updated on my farming endeavors.
We're not gonna show like screenshots of the conversation, but we can definitely read them out on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I'm very interested to see if you find your cletus.
Here's hoping, man.
Okay, so I hate to do this to you, but I also have to go poop.
That is totally
fine.
So
I will return. You work on your farmersonly.com.
So
Oh no! What was that? Did something break?
No, it was just me hitting my fork.
That sounded so much more destructive than...
I know. It sounded terrifying. But anyway. So Darryl, recently I've purchased some little goodies that I told you about the other day.
Oh yes.
Little gummy bears that make you feel good. So my question to you is, I guess, what is your best experience with edibles?
Well, let's see. I've definitely had some great experiences on edibles. I don't necessarily would say I've had bad experiences on edibles, but I've definitely been too high in the wrong place. Well, on edibles, let's see. When we were at PAX this year, PAX East, there's a dispensary in Lee, Massachusetts called Canna Provisions, and we ended up stopping there on the way to Boston, and I picked up quite a few edibles while I was there, and it was number one, that place is really, really good. Everyone that works there is really, really nice and sweet, but God, it's so expensive.
Oh, I bet.
It's so expensive there. I bought like a chocolate peanut butter bar with little pretzels inside of it. It was so good, but was $35 or something for a bar, and I was like, holy shit. So
do you know how many milligrams it had?
I think maybe 500 in one bar. Okay. And I think I remember two of my friends drove from Bend, Oregon to Seattle for PAX West in 2018. And there were dispensaries in the city, in Seattle. And a couple of us ended up walking down there, and that was my first time being in a dispensary, and it was so nice. The worker that came up to me, she was like, welcome. She looked at my ID and she was like, oh, you're from New York. What brings you here? And I told her about that, where I was here for the convention. She's like, oh yeah, it's popular this time of year. A lot of people from the convention come down here, and for a lot of them, it's their first time being in a dispensary. And I was like, yeah, it's my first time being here too. And she kind of just guided me through, and I was like, just whatever you would recommend. And she recommended this orange cream soda.
Ooh.
And I forget how much it was, but I ended up splitting it between two of my other friends that came to visit me, and we ended up splitting the soda 3 ways. It was kind of like, instead of puff puff pass, it was like sip sip pass. So
that's funny.
We divvied it out so that we would each get an individual. We would all get the same dosage, which rounded out to be maybe 65 milligrams per person. 65 milligrams is a lot.
It's decent.
For one person, I would say. I remember going back into the hotel room. I also bought some pre-rolls, and I was like, okay, I told Norm was rooming with me. I was like, all right, Norm, I just came back. I had some of the soda in the parking lot, and I was like, okay, in a couple minutes, we'll go out and smoke this. I went to lay down, and we had like Family Guy on the TV or something, and I never got out of that bed to smoke that joint. I was gone. I laid in that bed, and I became the bed.
That's amazing.
I do remember going to the PAX floor in Boston. It was one of the first days that we were there. I went down to the show floor, and I had a little bit of that peanut butter bar, and it hit me in all of the wrong places.
Oof.
And my anxiety started shooting out everywhere,
no.
and I had to leave because there was just there was just so many people around me. And
yeah, I totally feel that.
During that time, it was in March, and that was right around the time COVID started there were cases in the US.
Yeah.
And I remember
there was like a few cases in Boston too.
Yeah. And I remember having an anxiety attack that was definitely onset from the edibles that I had taken. And I started thinking, I was like looking around, seeing all these people, and I was like, man, are we causing something right now for all of us being here? Are we going to be the reason why? Like, I'm picturing Boston being on this complete shutdown where nobody is allowed out, and there's like the military is patrolling the streets and stuff like that.
Holy
and there's
shit.
Checkpoints everywhere in the city. And I'm like,
fucking The Division in real life.
Yeah. And I'm starting to think to myself, is this a catalyst? Is this going to be a catalyst for something further down the line? Like, are we foreshadowing the end of time, the end of days here? And I just had such a bad time. I had to leave the convention center. It was just not a good day.
Yeah, it's crazy how like we went to PAX like right before it started getting really bad, like the whole COVID shit. Honestly, we were really lucky that we were able to do that, travel with no problem. Like, there weren't any like travel restrictions, or we weren't like supposed to stuck there or anything.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Absolutely. But those are two examples of a good time on edibles and a bad time on edibles. So
Nice.
So I know you particularly when you take edibles personally, sometimes they don't really affect you, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about that?
Sure. So when I was in like high school, I had a friend who she wanted to like study cannabis in like work, like open her own dispensary, and like just she really loved like the science behind it.
A very noble profession in the 21st century.
Yeah. So she actually moved to California. So I wonder if she's doing anything with that. I hope she's doing well. But she would make edibles. Like she would make like the butter. Like she would do like a whole bunch of shit. And she would make these really good edibles. Like she would make like cookies, like Rice Krispies, like a whole bunch of shit. And like every single person would get fucked up off of them. And like I would eat like 2 or 3 of them. And I'm like, this isn't working. Like, what's happening here? So like every single time I would have any kind of edible, it wouldn't work. And then we went to Boston, like we went to PAX. A friend of ours had like these little, like, they were like these like little like candy jewels or whatever. And they had like, I want to say like 5 to 10 milligrams in each of them. And they were like watermelon. So he gave us like our own like little box of them because he was leaving that day and he couldn't bring them back with him. Mm-hmm. So he was like, no, yeah, you guys can have these. Like, I'm not going to have them. Like, I can't bring them. So like, go crazy. And we were like, fuck yeah. Like, so I remember it was the day you guys left. So like when we had like breakfast that last day.
Yeah. That was a sad day.
Yeah. And it was so sad. After you guys had left and like, I think he left too, like shortly after that, I had like 3 of them. So I took them and then we had to go back to the hotel because I forgot my my PAX badge.
Oh, okay.
So we had to go get that to go to the convention. So we were chilling. We were all going. It was me, Kat, and Clarissa. We all took like our own little ones. So then we go back to the hotel, we get the badge, and then we go to the convention. And it hits when I'm at the convention. And like for the first time, an edible has actually worked. And so I'm standing there and I'm like looking around and everything's kind of moving in like slow motion.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I'm looking around and then I look at Kat and I'm like, oh.
Oh no.
And she looks at me with like the same kind of face because it hit her too. And we were like, oh. Just like struggling a little bit. And then we meet up with Sheikah and like our old little group and shit. And I think then we decide to just leave. It was like, not that great. Like, it's not that great of a... Like, the convention was fine. It was just a lot of people. And, like, it was still a little sus with the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
And, like,
I mean...
It just... We wanted to hang out with each other instead of just, like, being overwhelmed by people.
This is true.
So, I think we all decided to leave.
I think the next time that I go to a convention, I'm only going to get a badge for maybe 2 days, but stay a couple extra days. It's like you're there to play video games and also to like meet other people. And I mean, like, I guess like you don't necessarily have to play video games when you're on the show floor, but it's like that's what the show floor is for, you know? The first 2 PAXs that I went to were PAX East and PAX West in 2018. And both of those events, I played a lot of video games during that week. But after that, I think PAX has kind of just become a social event for me, as it is for so many other people.
Yeah, I never really cared much about the actual convention. Like, yeah, it's cool to see like a whole bunch of like new games being developed or like being announced.
Is it because you had to wait in line?
I mean, I hate waiting in line, but I also just, I don't know. It just didn't hit, you know?
Yeah, that's understandable.
It didn't hit different. So I really was just super excited to meet everybody and hang out with people. And that's really like the main reason I went. And that's the only reason why I would go again, to meet people. So yeah, I agree with you that I would get like 1 or 2 days for the actual convention. And then just chill the rest of the time there. Just hang out with people, go out.
I remember we all met up in Quincy Market. And we were looking for you guys, and I honestly didn't recognize either 3 of you. You, Clarissa, or Kat. I didn't recognize either of you guys at first. I don't know why. I do not know why, but I didn't recognize you guys at first.
That's so funny. Yeah, I saw ANGY, I think, first, because he's super tall.
Yeah, he's a really tall
I saw
boy.
him, and I was like, oh, and then I saw Norm, and then I saw you, and I was like, oh.
My beans.
My beans.
I remember the first time that we met, you hugged me and actually called me by my real name, and
I did. I was like, Darryl.
I was like, oh.
That was so much fun. But yeah, I think that was the only time that it worked. And then the other time that it worked was we took like two of the little edibles before we got on the plane home.
Oh boy.
Bro, that plane ride was a trip. That was so fucking funny. Dude, because you know how like when you're in the air, it already feels kind of weird because you're just like above. Yeah. And then like when you drink or like you do any kind of anything in the air, you like feel it so much more.
Oh yeah, because of the, I don't know the science behind it necessarily, but just because the oxygen level levels are different that high up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd imagine, I've never been intoxicated on a plane before. But
I've had one drink on a plane and I was tipsy. And I was like, ugh.
People tell stories about waking up drunk on planes is like one of the most terrifying experiences.
Dude, I bet. That shit's fucking terrifying.
And I mean, I used to hate flying because I used to have very bad motion sickness. I might still have it, but I remember that whole entire, because I had to get on it was a cross country flight. And I was worried that I was going to throw up because the last time I got on a plane to the West Coast was when I was maybe 11 years old and I ended up getting violently ill.
Damn.
But there wasn't a lot of turbulence on either flight from what I can remember. And I'm too young to remember that flight where I did get sick, but I didn't feel sick at all on my way to Seattle because I had to go from...
That's good.
Yeah, I had to go from New York to Chicago and then from Chicago to Seattle, and I didn't get sick at all.
Nice.
But, you know, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to the next time we all get to hang out in person because I miss you guys a lot.
Me too. And I feel like now if we were to hang out, it'd be a lot more different.
Oh yeah, like, for sure.
Us especially, we've gotten a lot closer since then. And then just honestly with everybody, I feel like we've all gotten like a bit closer.
Yeah.
Since PAX, and which is awesome.
For sure.
Because like we can actually make plans to hang out. Like once all this bullshit with COVID is over.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You can start making those plans and shit. That'd be awesome.
I know that ANGY messaged me and told me that and informed me about the PAX 2021 update.
Yeah, they might be doing that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't think I'm gonna go.
It would be. I don't think either. If I were to travel, I'd probably get like an Airbnb somewhere like outside of the city.
Yeah.
Like,
I say we all get tested and then permitting we all don't have COVID, we should all get an Airbnb and travel there or go somewhere.
Where a dispensary is close.
Yeah, where a dispensary is close, where you can get all the weed and get super baked in this Airbnb.
And then we could just hang out, dude. That'd be awesome. Yeah, just like binge movies or shows or just hang out. Like, that'd be fucking awesome.
That would be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies and stuff, we're going to be doing commentary soon in the future. And looking forward to doing those with you as well. But
very excited.
To close out this week, I think we should do the old-fashioned What's Got You High?
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 So, this week, I think what's got me high... Oh, okay. So, what's got me high is this week, my family and I, we made gingerbread houses together.
I saw your pictures on Twitter.
Yeah, I posted that on Twitter. Usually, every year, we had like the plan to make a gingerbread house, but for some reason, it like just doesn't go through. And like, we haven't done it in a few years. So I just decided to be super annoying this year. And I was like, we are making gingerbread houses. We are going to have fun. We are going to have family time. We're going to make these goddamn houses. And so I just told them and we were like, okay, we could do it. But yeah, it was really nice to just, you know, hang out with my family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make some gingerbread houses. It was my brother's first time, so he was having a lot of fun. The icing was a bitch, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that was like my highlight of this week. Just family time.
Yeah, I'll have to grab a picture. We'll have to make sure to like post the gingerbread houses and whatnot on Twitter because we haven't been posting references. But I don't think we had a lot of references that require pictures anyway.
No.
So, but we'll grab that. I also have to grab a picture of what's got me high this week.
Oh, it's got you high, ho.
So right now, where I live right now, there's a little downtown area. It's a really beautiful kind of like low key, like mom and pop shop kind of feel, and the like kind of like the town center and whatnot. I was driving home the other night, and it was all lit up with Christmas lights, and all the businesses were decorated and stuff, and all the lights were on, and it was at around maybe 2:30 in the morning, and it was just really quiet. No one was out at all. It was really nice and peaceful. And driving through that general area, and there's the town hall, which has these LED lights, and sometimes they're lit up like for Pride Month. It's like rainbow colors. It's really nice, and this time of year, it's pretty nice because they alternate between that and like Christmas lights, and that's awesome. It's pretty cool. Just driving through that area, I've had a very stressful week, but I've been trying to do things that take my mind off of like my health issues and stuff like that. So I've just been just doing a lot of driving around, I guess, and that was one pretty cool thing that took my mind off of everything. It was really pretty, and it is that time of year. I got my Christmas tree set up in the stream room. Live streams resume this week on Twitch, so that'll be pretty awesome. Twitch.tv/YoungRetro64 if you want to follow me. There I'll be doing some Stardew Valley streams, among other things, this week. So hopefully won't break, knock on wood, won't break my stream schedule for the rest of the month. But, who knows? We'll see. But that's what's got me high this week. Is there any particular music that you've been listening to real quick before we finish?
Besides the Jonas Brothers? No.
What have you been listening to by the Jonas Brothers?
So I remembered like a lot of their old music and how much I loved it. So honestly, I was just going through a lot of their old albums. Mm-hmm. Because it just brings me back to when I was a small, and I was just obsessed with those three boys. I loved them. I still love them. I saw them recently, like last year.
Yeah.
When they came here on their tour.
That's pretty awesome.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-Coronas Brothers tour.
Pre-Coronas Brothers reunion tour.
Yeah. I know that you mentioned The Who on like the first episode that we did.
Yeah.
They have, I believe it's a new single that's out. It's a cover of Sad But True by Metallica, but it's done in Mongolian, and they have the throat singing and everything. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
I wonder if it's on Spotify. Hang on. Yes, it is. So I'm going to add this to the Daydream Arcade playlist.
Fantastic.
And you feel free to add some Jonas Brothers on there. It's so weird to see our podcast playlist, because
it's so diverse.
It's incredibly diverse. You have a lot of like heavy screaming shit, and then you have like some kind of like stoner like indie shit on there too. So it's weird. It's weird to put on shuffle, but
it's funny.
Yeah, if you guys haven't listened to it yet, all you got to do is go on Spotify and look up the Daydream Arcade favorites, and you guys can follow that playlist and just listen to all the references that we make on this podcast. So
hell yeah. We hope you enjoy the music we love too.
Absolutely. So I think that's going to do it for us this week, guys. Be sure to follow the Daydream Arcade on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, you can follow us at Daydream Arcade, and on Instagram at The Daydream Arcade. And me personally, you can follow me at Young Retro Live on Twitter, Young Retro 64 on Instagram, and Young Retro 64 on Twitch. Gonna be doing those streams this week.
Nice. Yeah, and if you want to check me out, you can go to twitch.tv/Certicate, and on Instagram and Twitter, same thing, at Certicate. I did my first stream back today.
Hell yeah.
Which was fun.
Played some Black Ops.
Yeah, I played some Black Ops. But definitely plan to do more streams in the future. So hang out, maybe.
We got some more games to watch, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys watch wrestling, I don't know if we'll ever really talk about wrestling on here, but just know that might be something that we talk about in the future, possibly. We'll see.
Yeah, just tell us your favorite wrestlers. Fuck it.
Yeah, who are your favorite wrestlers? I want this on my desk by Monday. So have a great rest of your have a great rest of your weekend, guys. We will see. Oh, some of you who are in my Discord, we're going to be doing a movie night tomorrow, Saturday, the 14th. Saturday the 12th of December. We're going to be doing a movie night. So if you're in my Discord, we're going to watch How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Hey, I'll be there too.
Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This has been episode 5 of the podcast. And we'll see you guys next week. This is the final episode 6. Bye-bye. Bye. Because angry kids are just throwing metal Beyblades.